All right, we're rolling. Welcome, guys, to the second episode of the Clarity Compass podcast. This is a podcast where I try to get you crystal clear on things so that you can make steps towards your goals so you can fully understand what you're trying to do, what you need to do, and then so that you can go and do it, basically. The reason why I'm doing this podcast on this channel is because I really want to have a place where we're a little bit more relaxed, where I'm not trying to just basically speed through things like I usually do on my YouTube videos. People want it to be, straight to the point, the information that the thumbnail and title give them. They want to get right to it. A lot of times it's always like he's yapping too much. Well, I wanted a place where I can yap a little bit, and that's going to be this podcast here. If you've followed me for a little bit, you kind of know that I've done podcasts in the past. I've had the Anywhere podcast, which is really nice because I could do that anywhere. I kind of like that idea. It was just kind of like pop up and shoot a video. But I kind of deterred from that a little bit just because I really just wanted to make YouTube videos. I didn't want to have I didn't want the barrier of entry to be too hard. I didn't want it to be too hard to set up and have to shoot a video. If I want to shoot a video, I just want to basically sit down and shoot and talk. So kind of stopped doing that. And then I just wanted to start a new podcast because I still want to have a podcast that I build. And I was calling it Breathe Into It because I was really heavily focused on breath work and breath exercises as far as using that as a tool to help people heal. But what I didn't realize was that's just one of the tools that I want to use to help people out, not the main tool. It's really good for resetting your system and rebooting if you do a breath journey. And then it's also really good for your immune system if you do breath exercises every single day. But these are things that I teach my clients, and I also teach my, followers as well. But it's not something that I want to fully dive into, just fully all breath work and stuff. I want to do more of healing through meditation. I want to help people through mindset mostly. I want to get people through the blockages that they might be dealing with. Hold on, I need my water, guys. That's one thing you guys don't really see in the videos that I shoot is you can probably hear it, but I get cotton mouth pretty easy while I'm talking, and then I need to sit, but I cut all that stuff out. I cut all the likes and the ums and the knows out. But for the podcast, I'll cut out a little bit of things like obviously me stepping away to get the water, but this doesn't matter. This is just me basically explaining to you what's going on. The first episode wasn't on here because on my YouTube channel because obviously, if you're hearing this on Spotify, you might have seen the first podcast episode, but it's not on my YouTube channel because I didn't film a video for it. I wanted it to just be kind of easy, and I wanted to be able to just sit down, press record, and then upload that. But I was making them too similar to my YouTube videos. It was basically a YouTube video without a video. I mean, and like I was saying in the beginning, is I really want a place to just have conversations and have guests on, which I plan on having guests on in the future. I want to be able to just have conversations with them and have a talk show where it's all about positivity and getting through adversities and things like that. Because I just feel there's a lot of hustle podcasts out there, but there's not enough. We need more. Not enough. I'm sorry. There's a lot of hustle podcasts out there, but there's not a lot of self-helpy ones that what am I trying to say here? There's not a lot of good talk shows. You know how there's talk shows like Oprah and things like that. There's just a lot Maury, all the talk shows that are on TV. They're all about the negative side of the world and people cheating on each other and things like that. I want to have a more television or more not television, more media like this where it's all positive stories, people getting through things, maybe people being together for a long time, just good stories, not all the negative stuff that people are so attracted to, that safe, scary place that people want to be in. I know I said safe and scary, it's an oxymoron, but it's true. People in their their fear and their anger and their jealousy, it's a comfortable feeling, and they don't want to leave, even though they feel they think they want to leave, but they don't. Their body and their brain keeps them there because it's a safe space for them, and that's why they're always talking crap about each other or behind each other's backs, and that's why you're attracted to stories like that on TikTok and Instagram, YouTube, because that's what we like. That's what we're used to. That's what we feel is safe. It reminds us of our childhood when we're getting yelled at by our parents and stuff like that. But anyways, it's kind of a long-winded intro there. But yeah, today I want to talk about the fact that we kind of get on this self-helpy learning, not bubble. What's the word I'm looking for? It's there's a word for it. I just can't think of it right now, but basically we consume and we consume and we consume, learning and learning and learning, and not actually doing because we're actually afraid to take the step. We know everything we need to know in order to take the step. The next thing to do now is to take the step and think and find out if what we know is going to apply in our life, because you can learn all the things in the world. You can learn about every single diet, but until you start actually like experimenting with these diets for, weeks on end, for a few weeks at a time, you're not going to know what it's going to do to your body until you actually start exercising every day or stretching every single day. You're not going to notice that you're a little bit more limber or that your muscles are starting to grow. If you sleep in all the time, you're going to always kind of react to the day and just feel like, really crappy and not really like motivated to do anything. It's time to start taking action. And a lot of times when people do this kind of like work that I'm doing here, it's people trying to get other people to be like successful, rich entrepreneur. And I'm sorry to say, but that's not what my content is for. It's not what my clients are after when I'm coaching clients and stuff. It's more that I want to make you the person that can be successful. I want to teach you all the skills that'll make it so that whatever you want to do, you start going after, and then you will achieve it. Whether that is being a millionaire or an entrepreneur, or maybe just being a better employee, being a better family member. Maybe you feel like you're a bad husband and you want to be a better husband. I want to like help you succeed in anything that you want to do, because it's not just about trying to become a millionaire, trying to own your own business. Sometimes we just want to be happier with what we've got going on. That's super simple. We can get into that in another episode. This episode today is just all about taking the steps that we need to take. See, the reason why I'm successful is because I'm not afraid to fail, I guess. I've always been one to like see failure as a stepping stone. Like I didn't see it as failure. I didn't even like know that I was failing like when I was messing things up, because I've always been kind of like a goofy person, someone who likes to like crack jokes all the time. So when it came to things where I was like messing up, like for me, it didn't seem like I was messing up. I wasn't embarrassed to mess up, because like I was doing something that those people couldn't even do, whether it was playing guitar, whether it was like doing a backflip, whatever it was. I wasn't afraid to try, mess up, and then, fail, learn, and then do it again. Cause like the whole thing was like, once I learned it, then I ran and I showed people. I was like, oh my gosh, look what I can do. I'm doing this because my kendama right here. So yeah, but when it comes to like things like that, I was just never afraid to fail. So I always put, action into my life, no matter what it was. Obviously, if you follow me, you know that when it comes to like fixing growth mindsets, I had a fixed mindset when it came to school though, and I gave up pretty early on that. And I decided that I wasn't going to let like teachers or authority figures basically measure my success through tests and things like that. I just decided like, no, forget all that. I'm just gonna be a class clown. And I didn't actively think these things are just things that just started happening. And then as I grew up, I found a book called Mindset, and then I realized that I had a fixed mindset in those areas. And I started to like learn and realize that I can grow in those areas too. Started changing my mindset and realizing that, okay, I don't have a fixed mindset everywhere. Like obviously I trial and error when it comes to like physical things. Like why can't I apply that into like more academic things? And I started like reading more, and then I ended up writing a book. And then I realized that like, wow, I never thought I was dumb. I just thought I was dumb in certain areas. But then I realized, after all that I'm not dumb in any areas. I just haven't learned, those areas yet. And if I want to learn those areas, I totally can. But this is not the area I want to be in, then I don't worry about it. If it's an area I do want to be in, I realize that I need to, take the time to learn the things that I need to learn, and then take the steps I need to take in order to achieve what I want to achieve. And so that's kind of why I started this business in the first place, is because I've been there. I've been in the spot thinking that I couldn't, I wasn't smart enough to get the job, or I wasn't smart enough to get the, promoted, or I wasn't strong enough to start a business, or I wasn't smart enough to write a book, which I wrote a book already. It was just having that mindset. I didn't realize that it can change. So I've been there. I've been in a spot where I felt like I was lower than low. I've been poorer than poor. I've been homeless. I've been all of the above. And it was just like one little thing at a time, because everything that I've done in my life has all come into play. Like I learned videography and editing and lighting, all this stuff, so that it could like, and just to end up doing this. Like it's not why I wanted to do it. I started shooting video just because I like shooting video and stuff, and it all just fell into place. So it was me really like realizing that everything that I've been doing one step at a time has like changed me a little bit, and everything that I've learned has been something that I could use. And so it's not like all for loss, like I've done a bunch of things that I no longer do, or eat certain ways that I no longer eat that way anymore. Excuse me, when I talk a lot, I start to burp. And this was all through just trial and error. So it's just like I picked up things that I know that I liked, and I left things down that I didn't like or that weren't working for me. And then things change, like right now I'm not currently waking up at 5 a.m. To get things done. It does feel a little bit worse for me, obviously, because like I love waking up at 5 a.m. getting things done. So my days like seem shorter almost. but I'm trying to get back in the groove of it, and that's okay. As long as you realize like where you're messing up, what's going on, and you get right back on the horse basically. So I know this was kind of like all over the place as far as like, what the heck is he even talking about? But I kind of figured, for the first few podcasts, like no one's going to be listening anyway. So I'm going to try to like get my groove going when it comes to like making podcasts. But yeah, so let's try to like bring this all back here, guys. So basically, if you're watching this video, if you've even gotten this far, then you're definitely somebody who, wants to grow, wants to change. And if you follow me, then you're it's obvious. So like, consume what you need to consume, but things don't get done until you start to do them. So if you're not doing them, you're just going to go watch another video after this, or you're going to go watch another podcast or go read another book, that's all fine and dandy, but nothing is going to be done. Like you really didn't do anything. If you go to a seminar and you like go through their program and stuff like that, but you don't start applying what you've learned from that, then it didn't even matter. It's like, why did you even go? You just donated to their cause. It's like now you know a little bit more, but you haven't even done the thing yet. Somebody who didn't learn the stuff, but like got thrown into it and started just messing around versus somebody who had to like learn those things is going to, be a little bit better than the person who had to like read about it and learn about it and stuff, because that person was hands-on right away. Now, maybe this person knows all the technical jargon and whatnot, but this person has already like made strides and gotten clients and done the things, sold some of their products, whatever it is, because they like went hands in. Well, this person was over here doing like the research. Obviously, like you need a little bit of both. Like this person could obviously learn, and this person obviously needs to like go in. So you need to find a balance of like learning, feeling comfortable, and then just going for it. Just so you can be like, okay, that doesn't work for me. I don't like this diet, or I don't like waking up at that time, or I don't like doing it this way, or that makes me feel a certain way. And then, that right there is just like taking stock in your life and realizing, okay, this works for me, that doesn't work for me, this doesn't work for me. And now you're starting to take the steps towards to where you need to go. But in order to do that, you have to just jump right in. No more dipping those toes in. You gotta dive in head first, get hurt, dust yourself off and get back up again. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with this podcast here. Like I'm used to shooting videos and I'm used to like editing them, but I'm not used to just sitting down and kind of being unplanned and not knowing what I'm talking about. As you can tell, this podcast was kind of like a mess, but it's got to be messy. Your day one's got to be messy. It's got to be you, and you got to figure out what you like to say, how you like to talk, how you like to do it, and then put it up, see who loves it, see who loves you and the way you talk, or maybe they don't like you because you talk too fast, whatever it is, but you won't find out if you don't shoot the podcast, put it up, see how it goes, and then just keep going and keep learning from there, because it's just day one right now, guys. Technically day 2, but day 1 for the podcast on my YouTube channel. I'm super excited about this journey. And if you're still here, I definitely appreciate it. Leave a comment if you're still here. I doubt it, because I doubt anyone's here, because I'm just kind of rambling here and being a little bit yappy. But I really wanted to get this podcast going. I shot the first episode, didn't like the way that it went, because I really wanted it to be less like scripted, less like my YouTube videos, and more just off the cuff. And so that's what I'm doing right now. That's the second episode. And this is how they're all going to be. And remember, this is a place where we're just going to like talk. We're just going to hang out. It's not going to be forced. It's not going to be like bam, 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 bam. All the facts of like what the title says. Like we're here to hang out. We're here to get to know each other. I'd love to start a conversation in the comments down below. So please leave a comment if any of this resonated with you, or if you just want to say hi. Consider subscribing and share this podcast if you want to just, annoy somebody for having somebody just yap the whole time. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next podcast episode. Peace out.